Hi, my name is Kathy Marquette, and I'd like to welcome you to Accounting 118, Applied Accounting. This is a 3-credit course, and I'm going to be your instructor from this point on during the semester for the class. What are you going to be learning about in Applied Accounting? You're going to take basic fundamental concepts of accounting, starting with what a debit and a credit is, and a source document, and you're going to transfer that information into software which is called QuickBooks Pro 2015. The textbook that you will be using looks like this from Labyrinth Learning, and I believe that the bookstore has several of these left, and it comes with a bundle of a 140-day trial software educational version of QuickBooks 2015. On the inside of the front cover there is information about how to use the book, and there is an area where you will scratch off some gray silver matter to determine your activation code. So what this does, and these steps, it allows you to download the 140-day trial version of the software that we use in the class to your desktop or laptop. So I encourage you to do that as soon as you get the textbook. You can also access instructions for this under the Student Resource Center, which is located under Course Home in eCompanion. Again, the Student Resource Center, which is located as a separate content item under Course Home. So QuickBooks Pro we've been using for quite a while on the recommendation of our advisory board and also accountants who work with different software. Some of you may be asking, well, why aren't we using Quicken? We were told quite specifically that QuickBooks is your best option because for every debit, a corresponding credit is shown. So we call that double entry accounting. So for every transaction that you have, there will be 2 accounts affected, and both accounts will be shown. One account may increase, one account may decrease. So that's one of the primary reasons we chose it, in addition to it being compatible with Microsoft Excel. So you're asking yourselves, do I need to have prior accounting knowledge to take this class? It's helpful, but it's not necessary. Many of you have probably taken accounting in high school, or maybe you've taken a principles class in college, or maybe, for example, our fundamentals of accounting here, which is Accounting 102. Regardless of what you have for background, we do spend time going through an accounting basics unit before we actually start in the software. Also, at the back of your textbook is an appendix that tells some of the do's and don'ts, kind of a quick version of the basics of accounting. So I encourage you to go through that as well. So we start out very slow before we get into the software. However, I would encourage you to get the book as soon as possible and to download the 140-day version of it as soon as you can. Now, if you decide that you really like QuickBooks, you can certainly go and purchase it at a major office supply store, or maybe even Sam's Club or Best Buy. It's going to run you approximately $300 for the full-blown version, but this again is the educational version for 140 days. So we start out very basic, and then we work our way into things such as balance sheet, financial statements like the statement of cash flow, the income statement or profit and loss. We talk about inventory and the different methods of valuing inventory. We talk about collecting from customers that maybe we won't anticipate getting the full amount from. So we have what's called allowance for doubtful accounts. We'll also talk about depreciation methods. And depreciation is the amount of a useful life of an asset that is used up over time, and there's many different ways of calculating that. We'll also look at basic invoicing. We'll look at balancing your checkbook with the bank statements, and we'll also talk about adjusting entries to bring certain accounts up to date. So those are just a few of the things that we cover. We cover approximately 10 of the 12 chapters. If you choose to get QuickBooks certification, which is an option that they talk about in the Student Resource Center, you can certainly do that, but I would encourage you to finish the other 2 chapters that we normally don't cover in the book before you take that. There's a lot of people who are using QuickBooks, and if you have knowledge of it, it's very beneficial, not only for you personally, but professionally as well. I apologize for that. So I would encourage you to print off the course syllabus, print off the course schedule, be aware of the opening dates and the closing dates, because they do close at midnight. They are listed, and I only have usually one unit open at a time. So if there are some materials you'd like to print, please do so before the unit closes. With that, I'm going to ask that you read. You read extensively when I tell you to read in the assignments component. And take notes, use highlighters, look over the blue boxes that are found in various pages in each chapter. The chapters build on one another. Do the exercises overlap? They do. However, they are separate individual ones that we open up for each chapter. So if you have some issues with one file from chapter 2, realize it will be the same company but a different file for chapter 3. So feel free to contact me with questions, issues, concerns through email, through CyberOffice, or by contacting me through voicemail. I look forward to working with you this semester.